All right, we're going to continue with our hurricanes narrative writing. Okay, but first let's look at some slides. So in your narrative writing, you need an introduction. You need to write one or two more sentences describing the setting and the character. You need to write one more sentences explaining what is happening around the character or what the character is doing or planning to do. Okay, write one or more sentences that tell about the problem. Write one or more sentences describing the weather. Okay, write one or more sentences that explains how the character solves the problem, and then one or more sentences that tells how the character feels. So I'll leave this slide up for you. Introduction could be, it looked like it was going to be a great day, or it all started one fine day, or one hot summer day, or bring, my alarm woke me up. It's really up to you. You're the writer. Okay. Okay. You want to set the scene, hook the reader to continue reading your story, right? Okay. And then at the end, you should have a resolution, a conclusion. How does your character feel at the end of your story? Okay. Obviously, am I just going to say happy, relieved, scared, proud, or smart? No, I need to write everything in a sentence. All right, so you're going to go to page 5. Okay. You can use this, or page 6, which is also another graphic organizer. Okay. All right. So I would start here and then take this information and put it in the boxes where it goes. Okay. The where it says plot middle, that's where your climax would be. The plot where it says the beginning and this and state the problem, that's where these two would go there. Okay, and then the end, the plot and the end, that would these two go right here, and then maybe on the conclusion, you could tell me what your character learned. Okay. Okay. All right, this is page 5, your story map. Okay. You start off here in the corner, in the bottom right, in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, my characters were kids on a field trip in North Carolina, and they were on the beach. And then my exposition, I just put some details, nothing big, because later on I'm going to add more details. Okay, when I write on the next page, or when I do the final draft. Okay, I just say Susan and Riley are on a field trip with their class at the beach playing games and looking for seashells. Okay, rising action. Things start to change. Dark and gray clouds. It begins to rain hard. Susan and Riley are getting nervous and possibly scared. They need to get to shelter. Okay, the tide, because they're at the beach, that means the water is getting closer and closer and higher, almost flooding stage. Okay, the tide is getting higher. Okay, there's a hurricane, Hurricane W, and it's 79 miles per hour, so it's almost very dangerous. And then I went to the top of the climax. The hurricane hits land. It shows up. That's the most exciting part of my story. The characters saw a flying dolphin. Because it's in the water, right? So it might scoop up a fish or a whale. Okay. Some palm trees fell on the school bus. Ooh, dun 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 dun. And then my falling action, I added more details. They see a hotel nearby. They hurry to the hotel for shelter. They take pictures on their phones. Okay, they stay together. They find an adult. Maybe they find their teacher there. Okay, the lights went out, but they had batteries and a flashlight. Okay, so here's the resolution or the end. They, oh, by the way, after the action, the rising action, here's the problem. What's going wrong? A hurricane is coming, then they need to find shelter. So here's the end of the story. They found their classmates at the hotel. They waited for the hurricane to pass by, and they called their parents. What's the theme or the lesson that they learned? To stay calm, and be grateful that they're okay. Now, am I just going to write to stay calm? No, I'm going to write it into my story with complete sentences. So then on page 6, I'm still not writing a lot of details until where it says the characters. In my story, they're just kids on a field trip. It was their teacher, counselor, and then just people at the hotel. The setting was at North Carolina at the beach on a sunny day. At the beginning, and I'm going to state the problem. Okay, Susan and Riley are on their field trip with their class at the beach playing games and looking for seashells. It's dark and gray clouds. It begins to rain hard. Susan and Riley are getting nervous and possibly scared. They need to find shelter. The tide is getting higher, like flooding. Hurricane W is 79 miles per hour. A hurricane is coming, and they need to find shelter. And then in the middle, that's where your climax is. The hurricane hits land. Susan and Riley saw a flying dolphin. Some palm trees fell on the school bus. They saw garbage around down the beach. Okay, down on the beach, and they are very scared. And then the plot end, the end part, the end part. Okay, they saw a hotel nearby. They hurried to the hotel for shelter and looked for their parents, who were chaperones on the trip. Okay, they took their phones. They stayed together and found other students from their school. They found their teacher, Miss Fluffy. The lights went out, but they had batteries and a flashlight. They found their teacher and the classmates at the hotel, and they waited for the hurricane to pass by, and then they called their parents. Then I'm going to take page 6. Then I'm going to take page 6 and start writing my story. Okay.